been a while since I've come on here and talked. It's been a while since I've posted a YouTube video. I don't even talk on my Instagram story no more. You know, something that I've shifted is I've basically got myself off of socials. Not completely, of course, because I could never fully lose that connection. But I guess this video is gonna be mainly talking about me, talking about like my stories. Not even stories like it's something super dramatic, but what I've been learning, and you could probably take something away from it. Over the past month and a half, I've committed to this new level of discipline and focus, which has not been social media oriented. It's been at different skills and it's been at different responsibilities. And truthfully, it's made me feel very fulfilled with what I'm doing because I feel like I'm making progress again. Now, if you haven't following my page before, I was posting, 3 times a day on my feed, almost all of them edits, which, editing takes a good amount of time. Posting upwards 15 to 20 times on my story, talking to so many people in a day, so many different conversations in a day. And I needed to go through that experience to really to learn a few lessons, right? And with me being just turning 20 years old recently, right? I'm still extremely young. I still have so many more lessons to learn. I still have so many more experiences to go through. But the risks that I've taken and the experiences that I've had over the past year and a half have really moved me forward mentally to levels that I wouldn't have ever thought were possible, right? Now, the first thing was that towards the end of this, little social media run that I was having, I had this conversation and this realization that I'm having all of these conversations in a day, and I'm putting in an exponential amount of effort into content and giving away. That we have to understand the energy game here. That imagine yourself like when you wake up as a 100% a generator with 100% charge into it, and every conversation that you have, every emotion that you have, every act that you take, I mean, you're just giving a little bit of that energy. You're using a little bit of that mental capacity towards all these different things. And me, as a 20-year-old, 19-year-old, I definitely had a mental capacity that was higher than most. And that's not being conceited or big ego or nothing like that. It's just what it was, because I've done an immense amount of work on my mind. But I pushed these I was doing this for so long that and truly, I mean, getting very minimal in return, which I wasn't expecting anything in return, which is why I was able to go for such a long period of time. But my cup was not 100% full as a 19-year-old going into this, right? I don't think anybody as a 19-year-old's cup is 100% full to where they can really just push on forever, right? So my mental capacity, it was the way that I got it put to me was that every time I'm trying to help someone that doesn't care, that doesn't give me any effort, because this is the thing, I'm willing to give so much to other people, but I was giving so much to other people with zero effort in return. So what that looks like is that every time I'm giving a piece of my soul to people and getting nothing in return. So a little bit of me was dying. Slowly, a little bit of me was dying. That I got to the point where I kind of was feeling like I was dead. Like, and the thing is, I was still doing all my habits. I was still living a more purpose-driven life than 98% of people. But you kind of know when you become so self-aware from all the journaling and all the experiences and all the hard work that you've done on yourself, you can become aware of when you truly feel like you're dying inside, when you feel like you're at that stagnation point, right? Because stagnation is dying. It's either you grow or you stagnate. And when you really get to that stagnation point, you try so many different things and it's just nothing is going your way. That's when you reflect and you talk to God and you get this sign from someone, something. For me, it was conversations with other people that enlightened me and allowed me to switch paths with so much gratitude, right? Where I'm not doing the coaching full time like I was before, but this is a clear example of one of those moments where this plan changes, but the end goal doesn't. Where we still want to make impacts, we still want to give back, we still want to work on other people, but we need to work on our cup, we need to work on our foundation, we need to work on our temple a little bit more. And as a result of that, my focus and my level of discipline has just grown so much over the past month and a half, where it's all discipline and focus on my internal, my soul and my relationships that really matter. Because the other thing that I had to learn, and I'm glad that I learned this in my age 19 year, because a lot of people are never going to learn this, but we hear things all the time about keeping your circle small. We've all heard that many times in our life. And I got to experience firsthand how really a lot of your people that you think are your closest, they're not really there to support you. They're not really there to support you. And that's why your circle is always going to be extremely tight, right? And then those that are in your circle, in your relationship, you're supposed to nurture those relationships. And I needed to get that slap in the face, where it was, yeah, man, a lot of people really don't care about you. We live in a selfish world. We all do have that internal natural drive that we want to make it. We have a destiny, all of us. We all have a destiny, and that destiny does want to be fulfilled. So until that destiny is fulfilled, we're going to be selfish, and a lot of people are just way more selfish than selfless. I do believe that there's supposed to be that balance, right? You can't be 100% selfish, because when you're 100% selfish, you become the victim when things just don't go your way. But most people are just 99% selfish, and I got to experience that firsthand, as someone who was and still is a major giver, but I wasn't getting that much support, right? And this isn't no pity party. It's just what it is. And it was a lesson that I had to learn, a lesson that I got to journal about, and a lesson that I'm extremely grateful to learn, because now the relationships that I am nurturing, they're strong, man. They're really strong. I believe I've got the strongest relationships out of anybody, in my age group, and I'm grateful for it. I'm blessed for it. But I had to go through the experiences of just getting stepped on and giving so much and getting nothing back, right? But the thing is that when we were giving so much and getting nothing back, we weren't the victim in those moments, and we're still not the victim now. We just journaled about it, we learned the lesson, and we move forward. That's how we rock, right? Because there's no time wasted if you're writing about these things. There's the only lessons to be learned. Everything should be journaled. We're writing our own stories every single day. And as a result of that, we're just moving forward. We're moving forward. And our path looks unorthodox to many, and many are not going to understand, but we're not craving for people to understand no more. We're not trying to put on this image no more. The tough part about social media that I started to get into was that for social media to work nowadays, and I believe it's the game that they're playing on purpose, the people above us, is that you thrive on social media by putting on an image that is, and it's very hard to be true to you. And the way that I know that is because I was very true to myself on this Dame Fitness account and I still am, and I've had it for over 2 years. And you'll see people who do very little, or who just put on this image, right? And they just grow. And then that's the social media game. You have to clickbait, you have to look like a dumbass on camera. Like, some people, I'm not saying there's no authentic people online, but I know very few. And me, as someone who told myself I was gonna stay authentic, I wasn't gonna do like trend hopping and stuff on Reels and shit like that. I was just gonna post what I wanted to post, and I was gonna tell the truth on my Instagram, and that's all I did. And the truth nowadays, especially when it comes to social media, doesn't get too much attention because people don't like it. Truth hurts, and it's another thing that I had to learn. And I'm like, okay, Damien, anyway, your cup isn't full anyways. You don't know everything anyways, so just learn more for yourself. And that's exactly what I've done. That's exactly what I've done over the last month and a half, and I'm going to continue to do moving forward, because my cup must be overflowing. It must be. And now when I come into my conversations, it feels like it is, because I have this new knowledge, I have this new wisdom that I can share with people, just from the books that I'm reading, from the journaling that I'm doing, from the experiences that I'm having. It's going forward, it's going up and up. And that's our trajectory. Our trajectory is just up, right? That's all it is. Working earlier wake ups than ever, more strict diet than ever, harder workouts than ever, adding qigong into the daily routine, adding meditation. I was doing meditation in the past, but now it's an everyday thing. Never miss your meditation. Adding these things on that are just fulfilling to the soul, right? Because I really was able to get that slap in the face too, where and learn the lesson that our soul is just taking shape in a physical body, and our soul receives what the mind perceives. So it's always about trying to keep this mental on a 10. It's always trying to keep this perception at this elevated place where it's always grateful, it's always joyful, it's always enlightened, it's always accepting, it's always taking responsibility. And if the mind can stay there, then the soul is going to stay fulfilled, and the soul is going to, that auric field is going to be exactly where you want it to be, and you're just going to attract things like a magnet, the answers that you're looking for, the people that you're looking for, the opportunities that you're looking for. But it all starts in this mind, and this is the message that's been being spread all along, right? But we're not trying to talk about this basic shit no more, truthfully. And it's kind of funny that I've only been doing this really for 2 years, and there's people who have been in the game for so much longer than me. And it's hilarious because literally just a couple of weeks ago, I'm watching a Wes Watson video, and he's saying like, man, he comes on these YouTube videos 3 times a week because he has his YouTube schedule that he's had since he's gotten out. And he's like, I don't even want to talk about fear no more. I don't even want to talk about wake up no more. I don't even want to talk about discipline no more because I've been talking about it for 5 years and no one's listening. And I'm like, man, I've not been doing it as long as him. I haven't been doing it as long as many, but you figure out real quick that people just don't listen. And that's why the 1% is the 1%, right? So until we as we continue that upward trajectory, we're gonna bring those with us who want to be with us and who are willing to put in the work. But you're just gonna realize it's 1-2% of people, right? Because these distractions are just really taking people away. And that's what I was kind of realizing for myself too, is that towards the end of this, towards the end of my last phase in life, right? Everything is cycles, everything is phases. And at the end of my last phase, the distractions were able to kind of creep their ways into my mind, right? And when the distractions creep in, the soul, you start to judge yourself for getting distracted. And then that's when you start to feed negative energy into that judgment. And that's when things will start to go downhill and you start to make bad decisions. And overall though, you just start to have less energy. I noticed that it started to get much harder for me to wake up early. And it was like, the sleep was the same, everything was the same, but it was harder to wake up. I felt like I had less energy. What's the explanation for that? Is it that things caught up to me? No, it's just that I didn't have that chi. I didn't have that prana no more because I didn't have that I wasn't fulfilled. I wasn't happy no more. You know what I'm saying? And this is not a chase to be happy. We're not just trying to be happy, but we're trying to be fulfilled. We're trying to be content with where we're at. And now I've just doing so much reading, so much reflecting. I got the best people around me, man, and we're realizing that it's not about the money, it's not about the cars, it's not about the houses, it's not about the chicks. It's about your inner state and the rest, the relationships that you make along the way. That's it. We're not trying to go for this material things no more because the chase for material items is exactly what puts you in. And I'm not going to use the word the rat race because it's not, right? Because some people have a lot of things. They have a lot of material things, and you wouldn't say they're not in the rat race, right? But there's a rat race in your own mind. And if you're constantly chasing material things, they're not going to go with you when you die. You know what I'm saying? They're only here for the physical world. But when you die, these material things don't go with you, right? So if you're just chasing material, you're never going to be fulfilled because you're always going to want more. But if you can learn to become fulfilled with this inner state and move forward with gratitude, move forward just with this new elevated state of mind, then things feel very smooth. Time goes by really quickly. So because time goes by really quickly, you got to move really quickly, right? It's less distractions, it's more hard work. It's also though taking that time to really make sure that you recollect the mind. And that's what I've been able to do with these long hikes recently. And it's like, I know a lot of people are like, how do you even have time for all this? Man, I'm doing all the same things that you're doing. I just get so much work. I get a week's worth of work done in a day. I get 2 weeks worth of work done in a day. I'll get a month's worth of work done in a day if I worked for as long as it took. But I'm going week by week getting this shit done in a day, you know what I'm saying? Because we just, our mind works so fast, we're always thinking, we're always elevating. That's how we're trying to do it out here. But anyways, I don't know how long I've been talking on this video. I just wanted to check in. I just want to say, those who do watch this, I love you. I really, really love you. I'm showing up for you. It's still been on my Instagram story that I still do show up every single day because I still do have my non-negotiables. And my non-negotiables are what makes up me. It makes up Dame. Dame he has his non-negotiable. He never misses for you. He's been saying this. the number one thing that has allowed me to elevate and grow myself mentally, spiritually, and physically is my ability to hold my word to myself, my ability to hold my word to you. And if you make that commitment to hold your word to yourself from here in the next week, the next month, the next 6 months, your life truly is gonna change forever. And I'm not saying it's because you're gonna hit all your goals in a week. It's not because you're gonna hit all your goals in a month, in 6 months, but your perception, your mind state's gonna shift in 6 months. And all you need is that shifted mind state. And then stopping is gonna be harder than starting ever was, right? And that's all we're trying to do, is we're just trying to make a commitment on the front end and really reap those rewards on the back end. But we're not looking to reap the rewards, but we know they're gonna come as a byproduct, right? Anyways, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. It's been really cool to check in on this camera, man. I really don't know how long we've been talking. I had no script coming on here. I just said, let's turn on the camera and talk, because I missed you guys. Love you, man. Thank you.